Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? Now today I've just come in with a nice little project and really it's some inspiration for the challenge. Now the theme for January, it's frosted dreams. So you can interpret that how you want. For me, a dream, I automatically think of a lovely floral meadow. And I've gone for sort of here, this is what we're going to create, and I've gone for sort of greys, pinks. I'm thinking that frosted tone. And I don't know if you can see now, you know I'm not good with my camera work, but we've got the lovely field grass at the front here. And I've done this with my mica minerals so that it's got that sort of, this is my frosted coating to it. There are lots of ways you can create that frosty feeling on your work. It might be you want to use some of your pan pastels or some of your stickles. You know, lots of things you can do. As I say, I've gone for the lovely mica minerals. And what I think with a design like this is when you give the card to somebody, when they pop it in the room, as they walk round, those mica minerals just show up differently from different angles. And I just love that. I think it's something a bit different. So this is what I thought we'd create. But as I say, I'm sure you've got lots of ideas, lots of designs. You know, January can be a bit one of those months where we can feel a bit fed up after Christmas, New Year. So this, if Mr. Mojo's gone, and sometimes he does, especially at New Year, bring him back, invite him in to do this challenge with you. And you know what? I'm sure he won't want to miss that opportunity. So this actually starts off as an A6 piece of Lavinia multifarious card. And I love these smaller pieces. Now I'm just going to put that where I can see. And to start off with, I'm going to do my stamping. Now, again, if you're one of our lovely new friends and followers and you haven't got many stamps, you don't need a lot of stamps for this. I tend to look through my stamps, choose a couple, and then I look for colours in my VersaFine Clair. So your VersaFine Clair, your permanent ink, in general, I tend to use this for my stamping. And I'm going down the grey and the pink route. As you know, recently I've been using grey and purple a lot for skies. So this time I'm thinking that frosty will go grey and pink. So Morning Mist and Charming Pink. And the first stamp I'm going to use is the Wildflower. And this is a solid stamp, so I've gone for the Morning Mist. Now again, you could do this landscape or portrait. I've gone for landscape today. And for my focal point, I'm going for here. I tend in general not to put them in the centre. That's just the way I work. I like things off centre. But again, your design, you might want to put them, the main one, in the centre. And that's the beauty of when we create things. You know, it's totally up to us. You can put it wherever. Now this, I'm just going to pop one to the side and then I'm not going to ink up, but I'll come in again and that'll give me that lovely second generation look. And it's nice this, we're beginning to build up that depth. So again, so far, one stamp, one ink. Now this one, I'll stamp at this side, but I want it a different height. I want it to look nice and natural. So what you have to be careful is if we're not careful, we end up stamping uniform and making it totally uniform. And we don't want that. We want it to look nice and natural. So I'm just going to come in with a couple of second and third. And then what I will do, that's my main clump. Because again, florals, you tend to get them growing in clumps. But what I'll do is I'll put a little clump over here. And then the next stamp I'm going to use, again, we've got quite a few that you could use. I've gone for the lavender. And I'm going to come in with my lovely pink, this charming pink. And again, I'm sort of going to think of clumps. So I'll just put a couple of the stamp there. And then we'll have a nice clump here. And if you notice, I'm just going in that first, second and third generation. And I'm not going to totally fill the space because what I'm going to do is just give that a bit of a wipe. Just a damp cloth and then a dry cloth. And I'm going to come back in with the grey with the Morning Mist. And if you haven't got many stamps, this just gives you another look. We're using the same stamp but a different colour. And what it does is it keeps that lovely cohesive design. But if you haven't got many stamps and many inks, it's a way of almost making them go further. And that just fills that space. And as I say, it gives you that lovely overall cohesive design. So we'll stop there. I don't want to overdo it, but I am just going to give this a blot now. Your VersaFine Clair is a slow drying ink. And when I blend the background ink now, if I don't blot it first, this could smudge, and obviously I don't want that to happen. So we'll put the copy paper down. And then I'm going to bring in one of our circle masks and just pop it here to take my eye. This is my focal area, but I'm going to turn it upside down. I like to do this upside down. Now the colours I've gone for the greys, I've got graphite and midnight blue. For the pinks, I've got confetti and pink elephant. But I'm actually going to start with Della Blue. And this is it's a sort of a bluey grey colour. And again, as always, ink up and then blend in that lid. Your lovely non-slip craft mat will keep the lid in place. So you can keep one hand on the moon mask here. And then the lid will stay in place. And what I'm going to do is just give myself a basis, almost take the whiteness off the card. And because it's a lovely bluey grey colour, I just find it gives me a nice tone with the grey. And the reason I do this upside down is when we tend to come in at this part of the moon mask. Now, if I've got too much ink on and that was too dark, it would just look like extra shadow look. But if I'd gone this way, and for some reason it's easier to start at the top, if that was too dark, we couldn't get away with it. So that's why I tend to just as habit turn my work. So we'll pop it back, and now I'm going to come in with the graphite. And again, you can choose, you think of what colours you want to use. And maybe try some unusual combinations. Now again, I'm going in the lid. And then I'm going to bring some grey just over that blue. Now again, mine are well-used ink pads. If you've got new ink pads, especially if you've got some for, say, Christmas, do make sure you blend the ink in the lid. Because the Elements inks, dye-based inks, fabulous inks, but very juicy when new, which is good, but they can be extremely juicy, which is why I would always recommend blending in the lid. And again, it's a lovely sort of circular motion. And I'm just adding the ink round, and then I'm just coming, and I'm taking my time building this up. Don't be in a rush to add the ink. And when I take that away, can you see we've got that lovely nice blend now? As I say, don't be in, oh, lucky there, wasn't I? That could have been very different. Hey ho. Then we'd have had to look at a way of getting rid of the mark on the lid, wouldn't we? Right, midnight blue now. And this is, again, such a deep colour, so I'm going to come in from the base with this midnight blue. And again, tend to do circular motions. And you'll know your own ink pads. I always say they're like ovens. You know your own, don't you? And I'm just adding some depth at the bottom. Now, mine's a well-used ink pad, so on the corners, I'm actually coming straight from the ink pad because I do want a little bit more depth of colour there. So if we look, we're just starting to build up, and it's important to almost take your time and build these colours up. Just check that's nice and dry. So now time for some pink. So confetti first. I always find it better to build the colours up. Again, blend in the lid. And I'm just going to hold this. I don't want to put finger marks on it. So I'm going to start in this top corner and gently, this is very much a tickle, just till I see how much ink I've got on and how pink it is. And you see how we're building up that lovely tone in the corner. I'm thinking frosted dream, so I don't want it very dark. I want that sort of icy frosty look. And I'm very gently going to circular motions and bring a little pink cloud right across the moon there. Now, I want some more colour. So what I'm going to do is ink up in the lid, but I don't want to start over the moon because when I've got most colour, that's when I could get lines. So where I'm heading over this side, I'll come in and it'll be deeper. And then once I've got a feel for that ink on my brush, I can bring it across. For me, I would always suggest when you ink up, start at the edge of your work and then go into the middle when you've got less ink and you've almost worked out, got your brush sorted. So I'm just going to come in again, starting at the side, and we'll have a little bit of pink down here. And we're just building up, can you see? Probably won't show up very well on here, but it's just got that lovely pinky tinge. Now this is the interesting bit. I want a little bit more colour just down here, so in with the pink elephant. Now, pink elephant, if you've met her, well, she's full colour. So I'm really going to have to, again, just add a little bit in the corner and gently just want it across the bottom and then up here. But you have to watch her because, oh, she can be a tinker. She can be like full on, in your face, bright pink, especially if it's a new ink pad. So again, if you notice, I'm not taking any from my ink pad. It's so juicy. I'm just taking some from the lid. And again, just that nice bit of deeper colour there. And what I think I'll do is just come in with my midnight blue and then just go over that with my midnight blue just to blend that sort of darker blue and just to get that it's the colour tones I want. And just, you know, take your time. It is amazing how you can build it up. Now what I am going to do, just pop my heat tool over this. Just want to have it as dry as possible. And that's because the next bit we're going to add the mica minerals. And the reason, I'll move these out of the way, the reason we heat it up is the mica minerals would actually stick to the wet ink, but only until the wet ink was dry, and then it would come off. So the way I'm going to stick it, and we're going to use the field grass, is I'm going to use the Versamark, which is a sticky ink, which the mica minerals will stick to and stay. But here, just it would be the moisture on the card, and once the card dried, so just be aware of that. It is better if your card is lovely and dry before you start this. So pink velvet, the mica minerals come in the most amazing colours. And I have a little brush, one of the number 3 brushes, and I put mica minerals on it. So I know this is my mica minerals brush. So my suggestion is I'm just going to stamp a couple of times. You can go across the whole design to start off with, but me being me, I actually forget where I've stamped. It's very much like magic, this. I love doing this for the grandchildren. So I would then take a little bit, and it's very much a dabbing motion. I find if you dab over where you've stamped, and that's what I'm saying about it's remembering exactly where you've stamped. And the reason I dab rather than rub is I don't want to smudge that Versamark. So I find just by dabbing, and if you tilt sometimes, the Versamark puts like a watermark effect, so you can actually see where you've stamped and then dab your mica minerals. So if I can bring this up, I'll do my best with my camera work. Can you see where that mica minerals now? And you just get this lovely, lovely effect. So a nice bit of dabbing. So I can stamp some more over here now. So I'm thinking we'll have one there, one there, and then one across there. And I tend to just dab mine in the lid. Don't ask me why. We sometimes have these routines, don't we? You'll find you don't use very much at all. And there was one here somewhere, wasn't there? I think I can just see it up there, yes. This works very well with, if you want to background one of our sentiment stamps and you want that in the background. So I'm just going to tilt it now, check I've got them all. Yeah, happy with that. So again, that bit on there, look, goes back in on the lid. Lid on my sticky ink. And again, important to clean, damp cloth, dry cloth. So we've got the sticky ink off our lovely stamp there. Now, for me, my suggestion is now, you will get a little bit of what's called the bloom, and that's just where you've got mica minerals around where you've stamped. Now, to take that off for me, if I use kitchen roll, this is quite textured, it can almost scratch and just smudge any Versamark underneath. So I find just a gentle cotton pad and a gentle wipe across. And what this does is it will take away that bloom, take away the mica minerals from anywhere else on the card, and it almost polishes the minerals up and makes them shine better. And so you get a little bit of it on there, look, but it's not scratchy, it's very gentle. So that's my best tip I can give you. I find that just a lovely way. And it ensures you haven't got too much. There's no point having too much. You don't want the extra. You just want it, and it's now stuck. And if I move that out of the way, look, hopefully you can see, depending on the angle, that lovely shimmer. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is just bring my fan brush, which has been in some water. I just want a little bit in the sky, a little bit of faux bleaching. And when you're doing cards like this, just think about the order. I've done that last because I didn't want the card wet before I added the mica minerals. And what I tend to do with my kitchen roll is just dab a little bit to see. Yes, you see, that's lovely. I don't want it too white. I don't want it to look almost completely faux bleached. I want to keep that sort of ethereal feel. So I'm actually going to dry that now, just with my kitchen roll. And then I'm going to bring in one of our lovely butterfly stickers. And I'm going for this one here. And you know me, I tend to put my stickers on my scissors and yeah, I like it there sort of half on and half off the moon. And then time for a sentiment. Now, on my original one, I put dream because obviously the challenge is frosted dreams. But I like this, let your thoughts go, because I think that's what we do when we dream, don't we? And again, with my scissors, I'm just looking for where I think, yeah, I think it's got to go down here. And I think it shows up better down here with more of a darker background. So if I lift that up, now I think this was, if you're starting a journal in January, this would be lovely as a journal page. But also if you need some cards, even for birthdays throughout the year, alter the colours a bit maybe. But if you haven't had a go with your mica minerals, maybe now's the time. I challenge you, get them out and have a play. So I hope you're joining the challenge. I'd love you to put a comment on here at the end of the month and tell me you've won and what you're going to spend that £40 voucher on. So thanks as always for popping in. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have fun. Be kind to each other. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.